More efficient, indeed. And I'm sorry, I've got to run. Michael Caputo, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Dana.
Joining me now for more on this is Georgia Congressman Doug Collins. He's a ranking member on the Judiciary Committee. So when these 81 letters went out, what was your thought?
It was exactly what we've been seeing since this new Congress began. Chairman Nadler starts with a hypothesis. We don't like the president. We think the president's got to be guilty of something. So now we just go out and find our own facts. This is all this is, Dana. This is one of the most blatant, power attempts, grabs, and abuses, really, of a committee whose jurisdiction is so broad and so vast. But we're sitting here focused on stuff that is, as Michael has just said, he's already testified. Go read. I mean, maybe they're having trouble reading. I could get them hooked on phonics. They could go read that other stuff if they want to. But they don't need to do that. They need to just focus on what they're doing. But this is a fishing expedition. That's all it is.
Well, you're not the only one saying that. In fact, David Axelrod, who is, of course, a senior advisor for President Obama, he tweeted this: "Maybe I'm missing something, but the hazard of an omnibus document demand by House Judiciary versus discrete serial ones is that however legitimate the areas of inquiry, the wide-ranging nature of it is too easily playing into the witch hunt meme." So you're not the only one who's thinking that this felt like a little over the top?
Dana, this is concerning when I'm actually agreeing with David Axelrod on this. But again, this is so blatant that you're seeing it. When you don't have a plan, you don't have a vision for the country, you have an economy that's doing well, you have, jobs at as low as, job levels are high and unemployment's low. When you have all these things out there and you're so still disorientated from November of 2016 and you have a chairman fighting off his left and possibly a primary, you have people out there trying to impeach
do you think
the
that's where this is coming from? Like, do you think that Chairman Nadler is just getting a lot of pressure from the left saying, we're going to demand that you do something?
I think he's feeling a lot of pressure, and we're seeing that, when they're having town halls in his district talking about impeachment. But again, it's impeachment with no facts. And again, the chairman said the other day, he made this statement, he said, well, I know that he's committed obstruction. And then in the same sentence, basically, he goes on and says, well, we don't have enough evidence yet to bring. Right. Look, that goes back to the old things up here on the Hill called presenting evidence and not. I think Senator McCarthy tried that a long time ago, saying, I have all this information, but I can't show it to you. This is just simply hide the ball.
I don't mean to use this time to have you agree with Democrats, but I just want to read you one other tweet. And this is from a former top advisor to Hillary Clinton, Greg Hale. He says, "Don't do it, please. Please don't impeach him. It won't help us win in 2020. He deserves it. I believe that. But what's the best long-term play for the country? His day will come and it won't be pretty. But unless Republicans join the fight, it's not worth the risk." Do you hear anything, off camera where senior Democrats are saying, we realize that this could backfire on us?
Yes, some of our Democrats who don't always run to the podiums and try to talk about impeachment are saying this is a strategy. Some of them actually amazingly ran on a platform. They actually amazingly ran on infrastructure and things that they would like to see done, but their party has been hijacked by the impeached Trump forces. And I think it's really interesting here is, what are you impeaching a man for? Doing a good job, as he said? What are you impeaching him for? Doing what is right? They're getting desperate because Mueller is getting close to being finished. They don't see any evidence that he's going to come out and say collusion or whatever they started with is what he's going to find. So they're desperate now to go find it. 30 of the 81 letters had to do with Russia. When you understand that, you're sort of seeing that they're going to Russia, which they, by the way, said, we don't want to get involved with because we want to protect Mueller. And all they've done for 2 months is attack around
Let me
Mueller.
just run this last thing by you. This was just out today, a Monmouth University poll. So during that hearing last week when the Republicans had a chance to question Michael Cohen, they asked a question, what were Republicans most interested in? Getting at the truth, 22%, or defending Trump, 48%. So Republicans have a challenge here messaging-wise as you go into these hearings. The chairman's not going to stop calling them. You're not going to stop showing up. How can Republicans do a better job convincing people that they also want the truth?
I think when you go into these hearings, you ask the questions and you look at what's actually happening and you listen to the answers. Again, part of the reason that some of these polls are actually out there is every media outlet in the world, and I'm sitting in Media Central up here, is where they're going out and they're taking the assumption the Democrats were right to start with. The problem is the Democrats are not right to assume with. They're trying to find their reasons. And what we're finding is we just need to go in and say, look, like last week, you have a liar who's going to jail trying to redeem himself. If that's what he wants to do, fine. But the reality is he perjured himself last week. people will start to see the truth, and we're going to see this go through. But again, what is Congress's role here? This is a concerning, from a lawyer standpoint, is a constitutional role. What is the constitutional role of oversight in Congress? And right now, they're so stretching the edges of what we should properly be doing. We got to look at that.
Yes, of course, I know that they'd say the same about Republicans when they're in the majority, but I'm glad to have you on today so that you could give us your side. Congressman Doug Collins of Georgia, thank you.
Dan, it's always good. Take care.
So the swing state of Florida, how's it looking for Trump in 2020? And the public corruption case against former Congressman Aaron Schock. Well, it's finally over. So what happened to the felony charges against him?
I'm looking forward to having this weight off my chest and not having it the first thing I think about every morning and the last thing I think about before I go to bed.
Lots of investment firms talk about customizing a portfolio to your needs, but they only look at one or two aspects of your financial situation. Creative planning is different. Our financial planning-led approach